still ongoing, the decode of John Kerry's speech in 2016. Just opposite with what is happening today. And you see the precise nature of what I'm telling you. I'm still reading from it, from my decode. Different phases of the strike forces they will use in Biafra land and their mission. These are the strike forces they will use. They already have it. They have added one now, Pofada and all those other ones. Now I'm quoting from John Kerry. Now certainly northeastern Nigeria is not the only region that is plagued by violent extremism. I want you to know the word violent extremism. We are going to interpret it. And sadly, Boko Haram isn't the only terrorist group that we face in the world today. End of quote. Means that Nigeria is not the only country in the world where they are faced with this kind of challenges, and that Boko Haram they established in Nigeria to handle this particular Nigerian challenge is not the only terror group they have established to deal with similar situations in other parts of the world. That's what he just said. Now I'm quoting him. Earlier this year, an Islamic militant group linked to Al-Qaeda killed 30 people when they bombed a hotel in Burkina Faso. Over the first 6 months of 2016, the Lord's Resistance Army abducted more than 500 people, mostly in the Central African Republic and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And just a few days ago, Al-Shabaab militants killed 15 people and injured more than 80 when they detonated an attack near an open market in Gakayo in Somalia. And terrorists from or inspired by Daesh have carried out vicious attacks in Europe and the Middle East, South Asia, and the United States of America. End of quote. It means that there are already different categories of their, these are already different categories of their London terrorist groups, military groups, whatever one choose to call them, whether Boko Haram or Jihadists. But one thing is common to all. They are not any local outfit, but specially well-trained groups in different categories, not under command of any local authority in Nigeria, be it military high command or the presidency. They are directly controlled and receive their orders directly from unseen commanders far away from Nigeria at American Ground Zero or scattered all over the Western Command countries, and definitely not under one central command figure. That is why the military are doing the police job. Because internal security, because if it is in the police, you have mixed up people from other places. But because of military, exclusively Fulanis and the foreign terrorists that they integrated into the army. That is the reason. Now, each group may not know what the other is doing, and each group is engaged in their own particular trained area of operation and must go directly to complete their specific task and must not be distracted from their specific target when hostility starts in Biafra land. All these groups are already on the ground in Biafra land, studying their specific targets and putting the final touch on the operational guidelines. So when you think you have a second chance, you will not have. Everything they are doing will be synchronized simultaneously. Bam! In a flash, it's all done. From now to the end of the 31st of January, that is their limit. Before then, they have liquidated all of you. Then the United Nations will come for their referendum. That's what they are planning. I'm quoting him. Islamic militant group linked to Al-Qaeda bombed a hotel in Burkina Faso means that those, end of quote, means that those who are specifically trained and dispatched to take care of all the whole hotels in Biafra land, they will completely burn their way down. All those industries, all those big hotels, they will destroy everything. It's already on. You see, they're already on the ground. Even among the guests of those hotels, they are surveying everything. They are not in large groups, little groups. That's what they use to destabilize you. You see, now I'm quoting him. Lost Resistance Army abducted. Means this group had the specific instruction to abduct and to kill already earmarked persons that must be taken alive in the southeast and south, even north central. They also have been deployed. Lost Resistance Army will equally and most probably, apart from this victim, apart from taking victims captive, will also destroy all churches in Biafra land. Priests, they will kill them. Churches, they will burn churches. Look at it, even in the north. Let me read one news report. This one written 2016. Now look at the reflection. What is this? This Boko Haram EYN seek reconstruction of 1,125 churches. This is Nation of January 22, 2019. This one, 2019. The report I'm reading for you. Now look at what I said here in 2016. Compare it with what is happening today. What happened is that the Church of the Brethren in Nigeria, better known by its outer name, Ecclesia Yang Owa, Nigeria, EYN, has appealed to the federal government and relevant authorities to rebuild 1,125 of its churches destroyed by Boko Haram insurgents. One church alone. 1,125 of their branches have been destroyed in the north. Not to talk of other churches. One alone. He said the EYN has most of its branch churches in the northeast, where Boko Haram violent activities have been most pronounced. The church lamented it has lost properties over the years to the insurgency, calling on government to intervene by reconstructing some of them. The president of EYN, Reverend Joel Beer, who made the appeal for the reconstruction of the churches Tuesday during the 2019 Ministerial Annual Conference at the EYN headquarters in Kwahi, Hong local government area of Adamawa State, said, and I'm quoting him, "We want to call on Adamawa and federal government to expedite action to rebuild places of worship, however, houses and shops that were destroyed by Boko Haram." He added, "For how long are we going to wait in vain? We are tired of fictitious promises. Our worship places not included in the rebuilding of the Northeast? Is Adamawa State excluded from the rebuilding of the Northeast?" You see it? Billions and trillions of dollars, they say they are rebuilding the Northeast. Fulani settlements, not the Christian settlements. When the World Bank came and they told them, don't forget about the South, don't forget about Southeast and all that. Go concentrate all the whole money you get, go and use it and develop the North and all that. But look at Christian churches. 1,125, not even one single one was reconstructed for them by the government. What does that tell you? The federal government are the Boko Haram. They are the Boko Haram. Now look at it. Churches in Kaduna pay over 300 million ransom to kidnappers. That is Khan Chairman, son of August 10, 2019, with their chief priest of Boko Haram, Erofai. That man, that evil man there, don't worry. He will see the fate that will be before him. You know what happened to Nebuchadnezzar? Just watch out. I don't talk, just watch out. He said somebody should tell him how he's going to die. There's no problem. You go through the Nebuchadnezzar process, then in that process you will go off. Not knowing. Just watch yourself. Look at it. The gorilla. He kidnapped all those schoolgirls that they returned and all that. Maybe they have captured some of the people who kidnapped them. They are gate man and all that. Are they not Fulani people? Don't worry yourself. We will bring all the whole evidence. We will bring them. You see, over 200 Catholic priests protest worsening security in Enugu State. How many of them have been killed? That is as a direct result of what is happening here. The anachronistic nature of what had been planned and put in the cooler is the reason why people don't know what is happening today, why they are baffled. But I know what is happening. Look at it. Exactly as I interpreted it. Lord's Resistance Army, Boko Haram, all of them. Look at it. You see? So all the whole churches, they are going to destroy all the whole of your churches in Biafra land. What is it? Priests will be eliminated. The so-called Reverend sisters, they will adopt them, kidnap them. All these Biafran stars, both in Naji, where is this film actress girl, Genevieve and all that. All of them are marked. All these judges go to Juku, both the one in Ijeoma they kidnapped last time, and all of them, they are planned to adopt all of you. All of you, they are taking all of you away. I'm telling you honestly, think I'm joking. If you think I'm joking, you're wasting your time. But and all these bright stars, all of them, they want to wipe all of them out. I'm telling you, all this Mawazirika and all of them, we will interpret it. Because after these things, I told you, this their conspirator group, that they want to use the conspiracy of Hausa, Yoruba, and Fulani to destroy the Igbos. After destroying the Igbos, they will destroy the Yorubas. After destroying the Yorubas, the same thing will eliminate the same Fulani will eliminate the Hausa. Then their masters will come and eliminate the Fulanis. That's what they are playing out there. When they eliminate the Fulani, they will take over. So by the time they are using Burata and all these ones to do this thing, in the next edition, I will tell you how they plot to eliminate all these people they use, both Sultan of Sokoto, both Babangida, or both Buhari, all of them. How the same Western forces have plotted to eliminate all of them. Then when they eliminate all of them, they close the Nigerian chapter. Both Nnamdi Kanu, all of them have been earmarked to be killed. Even Nnamdi Kanu now, they want to eliminate him because of the source. Those who gave him that video to play. I told you, the British intelligence that gave him that video on the tape of Zik. Let him provide it. Let him prove. How old is Nnamdi Kanu? How come Nnamdi Kanu is the only person that know about Zik, calling Ojukwu rebel and telling France to starve Biafrans to death? How old is Nnamdi Kanu? Mbazulika Amoichi, is he not a Zikist? Let him confirm it, whether that is what Zik said. So where did he get that tape? Just same John Kelly lineage where he got this legend story of Zik and Ahmadu Bello. That is the same source. Nnamdi Kanu must have to provide the source of that tape. If not, he will be executed in Biafra land. For treason. You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. All this nonsense they are doing, both him and Uchemofo. You think it's a joke? It's not a joke. This is a serious matter. It's of international consequence. So they must provide the source. Since I want them to be, they have stopped that nonsense. They must provide the source of that tape. That is what will expose them, you know. So they talk about knowing about them. They don't know anything. 1% they have not contributed. Without this exposed, Biafrans are gone. So how will you claim you are fighting for Biafra when you don't even know the forces that are holding Biafra down? These are the main forces. So what do you know? You don't know anything. All what we do is to derail all our efforts. They use you to kill all our efforts. Go and look at that tape on Zik. Go and look at it. Is it promoting you? Go and look at the contents of Nnamdi Kanu. Go and look at his speeches. Nothing coherent in the area of actualizing Biafra. Rather, he's endangering you, putting you on the front burner of fire. And yet, there's no fallback alternative to save the people. But we are here clearing the fire and trying to save the people. That is why they say the slaves don't always welcome their deliverers. Go and check it. It's in the history. And it's easier to deceive the people than to, you know, convince them that they are being deceived. That is Robin Cook. That's what he said. He completely deceived you. And up to today, he's still deceiving the Igbos. And the idea that we're dancing up and down. The Jews were slaughtered 6 million. You are right at that center. All of you, no matter how many you, if you like, be 20 million Biafrans following him. You don't renounce that nonsense Chukwu and Okuka Biama and follow the Lord Jesus Christ. You are all going to be liquidated by the full weight of the sovereign God. Nothing saves you. God will clear all of you away. So there's no competition about who is bringing Biafra. It will be crystal clear because the Lord said he can never share his glory with anyone. He cannot. You are the Lord, God is your name. You can never share your glory with anyone. You can never share your glory with anybody. Almighty Lord, God is your name. Jesus will not share his glory with you. So it doesn't matter how long you pretend. Now we have entered the main fire. The main fire, furnace, deep furnace. Can you stand it? You can't. So let us see what you have, the program you have for the realization of Biafra. If you don't clear up, God will clear you off. Even the radio, whether the radio or is there or not, it doesn't stop Biafra from coming. Is it transmitters all over the place that we gave Biafra for you? Biafra is not in the hands of Nigerians. I've told you that. These forces are the forces that are holding Biafra. You are not the only one. There are many clever allies they are promoting, both the one that say God told him to go and support President Trump. All those clever criminals, you know, who are masquerading, deceiving the people. God told you in Africa to go and support President Trump. President Trump is going to do this in Africa. President Trump is a devil. Think he's a saint? I supported him. He's a devil. Worst devil. I supported him because in the first of two alternatives, you have to choose the latter one. Between him and Hillary Clinton, I have to choose him. Let IPOB play their tape a day before the presidential election in America. Let them play it. I made a contribution, even though they banned me, I forced myself onto their radio, which I'm anchored it. And I told him that in the election that will happen in America, nothing in this world will make Hillary Clinton to win that election. That even if she wins that election, she can never be sworn in as the president of America. And if she is sworn in as the American president, let everybody in this world never regard me as a prophet of God. I talk with authority because I know where I'm based. Let him replay the tape. They are not my friends. I tell you crystal clear what will happen. When they went and do the demonstration for Donald Trump swearing in Port Harcourt, I was the one who instigated it. I told them to stop. I was just here. When I took the Biafra issue, Nnamdi Kanu, I was the one who made him to escape from when they went to ambush him. I will tell you how I did it. From America here, I did it. One by one, I will show you things I've been doing in the secret. By the power of the Lord Jesus Christ. He is the one moving it and doing it through me. Then Janjaweeds will come, and when they see the debris of deadly blows that are being hammered on the forces of darkness, they come and claim the glory. Do you know what we suffer, what we go through to get all these things we get and post to you? Since I started this thing, 1998 to date, I have never asked, and nobody have given me a dime for this till today. In these trenches, that I spent and spent and spent and spent. I was a multi-millionaire when God called me. Or whatever I have even in this America, I spent all what I earn in this place to make sure that my people are extricated. And you go up and down, you say you are going to town hall meeting in America, because I told you the Biafrans in America are the ones that we gave Biafra, and that is true. Then you're jumping up and down. You are not a freedom fighter. If you're a freedom fighter, we won't have time for anything. We won't have time. Come and join and do what? Nobody, any Biafran in America that goes to pay that Nnamdi Kanu $1. You are finished. I'm telling you, they will execute you. Just wait. I'll preach a message on that. Don't register with IPOP. Don't. They have enough members to execute whatever they want to execute. Let new people never register with them. Otherwise, they are gone. Still quoting John Kerry. Al-Shabaab militants detonated an attack. Not the use of attack and not bomb. Near an open market, end of quote, means all or most markets in the southeast and south-south had already received deployment of squads that will attack and bomb all these markets, currently studying the best time to strike most of them disguised as beggars who are spies that will report on movement of Biafrans. That is exactly the reason why the army, look at the army, they are killing people in the north. They say they are coming to do market sanitation exercise for you in the southeast. Look at it. That's exactly what is happening there. Those people who came to do market sanitation exercises are all ISIS. They want to come and study your environment and know how to execute you. All those drainages you see there, they have planted bombs that they will detonate on the day of that attack. And millions of you will die. Explosives have been planted in those markets. Military, doing medical outreach. Military, that we are in a war situation, but that they admitted. They are doing market sanitation exercises in the markets. Traders, you see, those markets, you have to close all those markets down to save yourself. You have to be well prepared and plan for a sudden attack, because they will round all of you and burn down those markets with all of you inside. They will surrender all of you. Burn those markets with all of you inside. That is exactly what they are going to do. So if you are going to dig trenches inside that market and put your guns there, you better do it to safeguard yourself. If not, you're already finished. This thing was written when 2016. Look at it with what is happening today. These are what they are going to implement this month. This month and January. Go and watch what I'm telling you. If Nigeria survive this month and January, they will remain strong. They can never survive it. Now, evidence that they created ISIS. I'm quoting him. And terrorists are inspired by Daesh have carried, end of quote, means that Daesh, they must be inspired and replicate what ISIS did in Iraq by their seizure and control of the area called Daesh in Iraq, which clearly shows that they created ISIS. So they will come to a place, all of them, they have mapped out the one that they will use as Emir this, and Emir this. They will hold your territories. That's what they are saying. I'm going back to the book. The whole group, not limited to those mentioned above, are to be encouraged and improved on the sources of others they will hear about and make their own operation far more better, far more vicious, far more terrible and horrendous than the ones already reported about in the various areas of operation, especially in the southeast, south-south, Benue, Plateau, and other places. The various Boko Haram commanders involved in the war are to seize Biafran towns and villages and control them as ISIS did at Daesh in Iraq, even as Boko Haram did in the northeast from where they were relocated to Biafra land. As those living in the core north and southwest will be taken care of in those states by the local Boko Haram that will block all exit routes and embark on house-to-house massacre of Biafrans in their domain. That with OPC, with OPC, that is exactly the message of Barack Obama to terrorist group against Christians in Nigeria delivered through American Secretary of State, John Kerry. Now, global conspiracy agrees on the slaughter of Biafrans. Global conspiracy agrees on the slaughter of Biafrans. I'm quoting him. So make no mistake, we don't have to be prisoners of this violent extremism. Hold on to that word, violent extremism. So violent extremism is the target. After I will decode it for you, you use your eyes and see. So make no mistake, I'm quoting Kerry. So make no mistake, we don't have to be prisoners of this violent extremism. Violent extremism is not a reference to Boko Haram terror set or their lives. It's referring to a particular set of people, a particular set of races that we will come to identify shortly. Then I'm quoting him. It can be eliminated. No one anywhere has to live among this evil, and it is evil. But it isn't going to disappear on its own. Means that this particular race, violent extremism, can be eliminated. No one anywhere has to live means this particular race are evil, and there is a united global call for their elimination from the surface of the earth. Biafrans, I hope you are listening. From the surface of the earth. Because if you leave them as they are, they will not change. So they must be eliminated. I'm quoting him. We do not have to be prisoners of this violent extremism. End of quote. We cannot continuously be held at ransom by this race or group called violent extremism. American government declared jihad on the former eastern region of Nigeria. I'm quoting John Kerry again. And that is something that is eminent. They sought and understand better than anybody as he preaches tolerance and bring interfaith groups together in order to do the hard work of pushing back against extremism. It takes leadership and it requires sustained effort from all of us, from regional, national, and subnational leaders, from the United Nations and other multinational institutions. End of quote. This is like bombing on Hiroshima, so to say. Finally, the die is cast. What does it mean? What this man said literally is, but before then, it is instructive to note that around the middle of July 2016, Sokoto State, the seat of the Caliphate, attained yet another milestone in the Islamic world following the decision by the Muslim World League, an international non-governmental Islamic-based marker, to locate their regional headquarters in Africa to Sokoto State. The organization, which was founded 54 years ago for the purpose of propagating the true teaching of Islam, including its principles and tenets, appointed the former governor of the state, Senator Aliyu Takanda Wamako, as the President General of the African Office. The director of the league in charge of the Abuja office, Dr. Fado Kalot, recognized the singular effort of the late Northern Premier, Sir Ahmadu Bello, in the establishment of the World Muslim League. According to him, and I'm quoting him, we can reliably say that the late Ahmadu Bello was the brain behind the establishment of Muslim World League. It was he who suggested the need for the establishment of the League to King Faisal of Saudi Arabia in 1962. The suggestion was accepted, and when the king gave his consent, he was reported to have added that Africa has always been in the forefront of promoting the cause of Islam, citing the first hijrah to Abyssinia, that is Ethiopia, before reaching Medina Callard, end of quote. Callard explained. He said the new office will undoubtedly pursue the League objectives and in turn bring maximum benefits and services to Sokoto State, to Nigeria, and to Africa in general. In his remarks, the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, commended the Muslim World League for establishing a regional office in the state. He said the regional office will serve as an umbrella for the unity of the Muslim faithfuls in Sokoto, Nigeria, and Africa. His words, I'm quoting him, Muslims need to take advantage of organizations like this one to advance their cause through effective collaboration. We should use the office maximally to attract and encourage support for the propagation of Islam. End of quote. What the American Secretary of State literally said in his speech at Sokoto is that the Sultan of Sokoto, even before then, look at it, the recent newspaper again. This is a cable of November 14, 2019. It says Nigeria now headquarters of West African Financial Intelligence Units. You see, the Forum of the West African Financial Intelligence Units have voted to relocate its headquarters from Cotonou in Benin Republic to Abuja, Nigeria. The work of the forum is to coordinate intelligence sharing among state parties of ECOWAS and Chad Basin countries on money laundering, terrorism, financing of proliferations of weapons, and other criminal activities. It was agreed that the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit will host the headquarters temporarily and gradually nurture it to an independent regional headquarters. Ahmed Diko, NFIU Chief Media Analysis, said in a statement on Thursday. The statement added that in addition to intelligence exchanging among FIUs, the forum will coordinate several information sharing among law enforcement regulators, defense and national security agencies across the sub-region. All against what? All against the Biafrans. So, back to the decode of what he said. What the American Secretary of State literally said in his speech at Sokoto is that the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, who has seen and experienced firsthand the dangers posed by the activities of violent extremism, this race clamoring for change in the already established and consolidated status quo leadership by dominance of the Fulani leadership hold on power in Nigeria, must bring everything at its disposal, including the total support, total commitment of all the member countries of the Islamic World League to bear in a declaration of jihad against the race clamoring for change. That the fight is not going to be easy, so we must ensure the participation and unflinching support of those member countries of the United Nations and other terrorist organizations under the control of America to join the effort of the Sultanate of Sokoto in destroying these violent extremists that are clamoring for change in the established status quo in Nigeria. That is the direct operational statement of the American president under Barack Obama, delivered through the American Secretary of State, John Kerry. Now I'm quoting him. It will take great effort by law enforcement and civil societies, and I want you to know today that the United States is deeply committed to this effort, including by helping our partners to be able to build counter-terrorism capacity. That is why at the State Department we introduced a countering violent extremism strategy earlier this year, and it is why we are working so hard to implement it. Though I might add, and you all are already under the leadership of the governor, and the Sultan is already engaged in your own countering violent extremism efforts. End of quote. This clearly shows that there is nothing like a national security agency in relation to the armed forces in Nigeria, as they have become an instrument in the hands of a demented leader with international support to use the compromised security agencies for the complete extermination of a targeted race group of people within its domain, in partnership with both local and international level organizations that will work in tandem with them in raising false accusations and propaganda against the targeted race to justify their elimination, or, as in the case of the race involved in this discourse, deny that such things never occurred. The government of the United States of America, through its Secretary of State, John Kerry, literally said that this issue of dealing with this race of violent extremism is not a joking matter at all, as long as the United States of America is concerned. It is of the highest top priority rating to America. Nigeria should use the armed forces and other security agencies, as well as propaganda against this race of violent extremism, clamoring for change in the status quo and deal ruthlessly with them. That the Department of State Service, DSS, should up immediately all the strategies they have put in place, like murdering these people of violent extremism instead of taking them to court, blackmailing them, and every negative strategy that has already been mapped out should be put into operation along with the existing ones to deal with this race of violent extremism. We are going to ensure a constant invention of strategies we will always pass on to you for implementation to ensure you deal squarely and successfully with the threat posed by these people. They are not an easy people to defeat and eliminate, but with commitment and hard work, success will be attained, just as we at the international level are doing our own. The security agencies with our cooperation are doing their own, including the DSS, the Sultan of Sokoto, and the governor at the political, religion, and civil talk. We increase their already mapped out negative acts against these people, like blasphemy, killing, and so on and so forth, should be increased against this rate in order to have a cover for their killing. Every act of provocation against this group should be increased to ginger their destruction. That is exactly what is at play. 2016. Now look at it. Playing out in your own front. Still on John Kerry's speech. I'm quoting him. There is no question in recent months that important progress has been made, and particularly here in Nigeria. Over the last 6 months, the Nigerian army has rescued thousands of civilian hostages. Hundreds of Boko Haram fighters surrendered to Nigerian forces. Very, very important. The world listened very, very well. I'm still quoting him. In July, Nigerian troops captured 16 of the group's leaders who admitted that they were running out of food, that their fighters were living off fruits and unripe fruits. And just last week, your army thwarted an attack in the northeast and took out more than a dozen militants in the process. The fact is that through the multinational joint task force with help from the United States, France, and the United Kingdom, Nigeria and its neighbors are degrading Boko Haram capabilities. Their country has taken back most of the territory that the terrorists have captured, and Cameroon, Niger, Chad, and Benin have made important contributions and enormous sacrifices in areas along its borders. End of quote. Following by 1,000 hacking at the branches of evil, which we have explained before and we still emphasize upon. Now, before we go further, I will give you something that will surprise the whole world. People who think we are just playing in this and that I'm just making things up. I want to give them something that will shock them. Before then, let me read one thing. I will have to read something before. Let me show you one thing. Buhari, we have made tremendous progress in degrading Boko Haram. That is the cable of October 8, 2019. I want you to look at the date, October 8, 2019. President Muhammadu Buhari says the country has recorded tremendous efforts in degrading Boko Haram insurgents. Buhari made the claim while inaugurating three cadets into the Nigerian Air Force as pilot officers at the NAV base in Kaduna. The president, who was represented by Abayomi Oloninsakin, Chief of Defense Staff, said those trying to destabilize the country have been frustrated. He asked the newly commissioned officers to confront our common enemies using new tactics. You know who is their common enemies. The armed forces of Nigeria, I'm quoting what the president said, the armed forces of Nigeria have recorded tremendous progress in degrading the captivity of Boko Haram terrorists, thereby securing the territorial integrity of the country, the president said. In this regard, the ambition of our detractors to destabilize the country is being frustrated even as they continue to attack soft targets, carrying out hit and run attacks in isolated military formations and utilize social media propaganda to disseminate fake news. Say what? Boko Haram has been degraded. Okay, that is what he said. Now, the same Boko Haram that have been degraded, look at what I wrote in 2016. And that is where I'm going. Because Back to the quote, so that people can understand. John Kerry's quote: "There is no question in recent months that important progress has been made, and particularly here in Nigeria, over the last 6 months, the Nigerian army has rescued thousands of civilian hostages. Hundreds of Boko Haram fighters surrendered to Nigerian forces in July. I want people to note, Nigerian troops captured 16 of the group leaders who admitted that they were running out of food, that their fighters were living off fruits and unripe fruits." This was what I wrote in 2016. You'll be very, very surprised. Something that will shock you. Now, listen. Look at what happened. This is a news report of October 10, 2019. October 10, 2019. Recent. Look at what I wrote in 2016. His quote in 2016. "I told you these are things they plot and they hibernated. The time of implementation reached like this time, they now bring it out. The anachronistic nature is why Nigerians are deceived." 2016, now look at the operational time. I'm quoting the newspaper of The Nation of October 10, 2019. "Hungry Boko Haram fighters surrender to Nigerian army." That is Boko Haram. The 10 Boko Haram they said have been degraded, surrender to Nigerian army. Hungry. Look at what he said here. There is no, that I'm quoting him so that people will understand. There is no question in recent months that important progress has been made, and particularly here in Nigeria, over the last 6 months, the Nigerian army has rescued thousands of civilian hostages. Hundreds of Boko Haram fighters surrendered to Nigerian forces. In July, Nigerian troops captured 16 of the group leaders who admitted that they were running out of food, that their fighters were living off fruits and unripe fruits. And just last week, your army thwarted an attack in the northeast and took out more than a dozen militants in the process. I'm going to give you the literal interpretation of what this man said. And that is what is happening today. Now, hungry Boko Haram fighters surrendered to Nigerian army. The Nation of October 10, 2019. I wrote this in 2016. Look at the development today. The Nigerian army on Wednesday said 5 Boko Haram fighters belonging to the Al-Banawi faction have surrendered to the troops of the 3 battalions following sustained bombardment of the insurgents' hideout in the northeast. How many? Surrendered out of what? Out of hunger. Have you seen it? He gave the names of the surrendered insurgents as Ramat Mohammed, Alhaji Brazil, Buko Gambo, Waziri Buka, and Bashuna Musa. This is the same Nigerian army that refused to release the names of their own soldiers that are killed. These things they are mentioning here are signals. That is why they are mentioning their names. Signals. According to the statement, the suspects were forced out of the hideout by hunger. Have you seen it? Reality of this kind of speech. By what? By hunger and unending bombardment, leaving them with no choice than to surrender. You think they surrendered? They did not surrender. It's a key signal. Now, I'm coming back to John Kerry's speech in 2016. There is no question, I'm quoting him, in recent months that important progress has been made, and particularly here in Nigeria, over the last 6 months, the Nigerian army has rescued thousands of civilian hostages. Hundreds of Boko Haram fighters surrendered to Nigerian forces. In July, Nigerian troops captured 16 of the group's leaders who admitted that they were 16. Now look at it. I'm telling you what happened. Now look at Vanguard of November 8, 2019. Vanguard of November 8, 2019. For the whole world to listen and see what is happening to Nigeria. Look at the headline. 16 Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists surrender as troops arrest criminal elements nationwide. Have you seen it? The same thing. These are the commanders that will lead the war in Biafra land. With well-trained Boko Haram commanders. Now let me read the news report for you. You say in continuation of clearance operation against terrorists in Northeast and criminal elements in other parts of Nigeria. Troop bombardment has resulted in 16 Boko Haram eastward terrorists, commanders, 16 at a whole, 16. When they have been chasing only Shekau for all the whole world, without limit they cannot, but now they're able to get 16 tough, battle-tough commanders at a time surrender. I think the world is yelling. Making the disclosure in Abuja on Friday, Deputy Director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Aminu Iliyasu, this is the signal officer of everything they are doing. He's the coordinating signal officer. Anything from him is a code. So troops also intercepted and arrested several Boko Haram logistics suppliers and informants in Northeast, as well as eliminating some bandits and other criminal elements in the Northwest and other parts of the nation. I'm still continuing. Boko Haram that have been degraded. Then all of a sudden, every day, what we hear, Boko Haram surrender, everywhere. So where are they coming from? Which country is Boko Haram that they are coming from? The army said on 1st November 2019, for instance, 16 insurgents, along with 8 of their spouses, who could no longer bear the heat from the onslaught against them, surrendered to the relentless troop of Sector 1, Multinational Joint Task Force at Fatoko. Sector 1, anything they mention is the troop that will lead, their London jihadists that will lead operation in that sector. That is what is there. Subsequently, the surrendered insurgents were later handed over to troops of 3 battalion men at Gamzu. Anywhere you see 3 battalion means they are going to attack the army base at that place. Any place you see 3 is army-based attack. They are going to move the Christian soldiers, all of them from the south, they are moving them to the north. And that is the signal. Anywhere you see 3, is attack on all military bases, liquidate the military, the Biafran soldiers that are there, all the Southern soldiers that are there and Christian soldiers, they liquidate them. When you see 4, it means army barrack and villages. That is when they finish the army, they attack the villages and burn the villages. That is what it signifies. It said, subsequently, the surrendered insurgents were later handed over to troops of 3 battalion men at Gamboru, Ngala, a border town northeast of Borno State. So they are going to attack these people. During preliminary interrogation and profiling, they confessed to have actively participated in attacks conducted against both military and civilian targets at various times. And these are the 16 you just got like rats, like that. Look at it. This is signal what they are going to attack all these military bases in the northeast. It was further revealed that 14 of them, whose names are Ibrahim Bunu, Abaser, Babalamba Alhaji, Buka Isa, Buka Ali, Urawa Abagana, Mustafa Abacha, Omar Abubakar, Hassan Buka, Malam Abacha Ali, Abba Omar Abacha, Husani Babagana, Idris Mohammed, and Omar Abba Bayomi all belong to the Islamic State West Africa Province, ISWAP, led by Abanawe, with remaining 2, Hassan Kabu and Babagana Buka, all belong to Boko Haram Abubakar Shekau faction. They are dividing them, all these names. The people in the military will be able to interpret these signals. They'll be able to interpret these signals. The repentant insurgents, however, regretted their participation in the heinous crime they committed against humanity and are now calling on their former colleagues to retrace their steps and also surrender to troops before it is too late. They are going to hand over these people to the international community. They say they are in their custody. The world must stand up and demand. These are terrorists that have been integrated into the Nigerian army that will lead the attack in Biafra land. It says in another development, troops deployed at Gaji Gara in Magumari local government area of Borno State intercepted some Boko Haram criminals in the early hours of Tuesday, 5th of November 2019. All these days change it to December. That is when the attacks will come. Even now, maybe this attack have taken place. Go and check. Some of these situations, they create it in in real life scenario. Not that they created that it happened. In real life scenario, to match with the signal that have already been passed. Look at when John Kerry gave the signal about the 16 people. Now look at when it is happening. So they have to create that particular situation so that this their code will be interpreted. So most of this crime they are putting all these days, you see them, they will make a make-believe, they will arrange it and it will happen. And you think the army are efficient or no, they are carrying out this, what they are doing. It is believed that the insurgents were on their way to attack the community to source for food items and other logistics for their survival. Have you seen it the same way? John Kerry said it. However, the vigilant troops blocked and neutralized 3 of the Boko Haram criminals, while several others escaped with varying degrees of gunshot wounds. Unfortunately, 1 soldier paid the supreme price, while 3 others were wounded in action. Maybe suicide bomber. The wounded soldiers are currently responding to treatment in a military medical facility. Additionally, the troops captured 2 AK-47 rifles, 1 rocket propeller gun. That is military attack. Propel gun 7, RPG-7, 5 AK-47 magazines, 47 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition, and some quantities of hard drugs exploitation. I want you to know that hard drug exploitation is a code, and we see where it pertains to. In a related incident, another Boko Haram criminal met his Waterloo on 4th November 2019 while attempting to cross into the Sambisa forest at Bama, Banki Road Junction, when troops sighted and neutralized him. Similarly, troops of 195 Battalion, all these are terrorist organizations, terrorist troops that are keyed into the army, that are going to carry out the jihad. That's what they are doing. 195 Battalion, while on clearance patrol along Gubio Road on 4th November 2019, recovered a kit bag containing 480 rounds of 7.62 mm NATO ammunition suspected to have been abandoned by escaping terrorists. In another encounter with the Boko Haram criminals on 6th November 2019 at Michima and Dambua local government of Borno State, 9 Boko Haram insurgents were neutralized by troops while others escaped with gunshot wounds. Additionally, 1 insurgent gun truck was destroyed, 4 AK-7 rifles and a cache of ammunition were recovered. Similarly, troops of Section 2 deployed at Damaturu, Yobe State dealt a decisive blow to the insurgents' attempt to infiltrate the town on 7 November 2019. These are troops, and this is they are posting them to their sector, to their war front, to their area where they will eliminate the Christians there. That is what they are doing here. The attempted infiltration was thwarted by the combined efforts of ground troops, artillery bombardment, and precision airstrike by Air Task Force of Operation Lafiado. Now look at it. Air Task Force. That is when the operations start, you see what the efforts are going to do. The encounter led to the decimation of number of the insurgents, in addition to the destruction of 1 Boko Haram gun trunk. Unfortunately, 1 officer paid the supreme price during the encounter. Furthermore, during their exploitation, troops discovered and safely detonated 2 unexploded ordnance materials planted by the insurgents, as well as the charred remains of some of the terrorists that were hurriedly buried by the criminal insurgents while withdrawing in disarray following the superior firepower of our troops. All these undetonated ordnance are what they are going to, the thing that they are planting in the markets and other places in Biafra land in the name of sanitation exercises and so on and so forth. Outside the Northeast Theater, troops on Operation Mesa MUESA continue to increase the momentum of their operation across the nation during the period. For instance, on 4th November 2019, troops of 1D garrison deployed at Damakatsuwa in in Kaora local government area of Kaduna State, arrested 1 Mustafa Osman Shehu while driving a Honda saloon car with registration number Abuja BU 70 ROBC, just along Damakatsuwa Kanu Road with a pump action gun loaded with 2 cartridges concealed in the vehicle's compartment. Do you know what what they are saying here? That is order to block that road and kill the travelers. Listen, for instance, on 4th November, that is the date they are giving. They are taking the operational guidelines. On 4th November to November 2009, troops of 1D garrison deployed at Damakatsuwa in Kawola local government area of Kaduna State arrested one Mustafa Osman Shehu while driving a Honda saloon car with registration number Abuja BU70 RBC. That is, they are going to close the road that is leading from Abuja along that Damakatsuwa Kanu Road with a pump action gun loaded with 2 cartridges concealed in the vehicle compartment. What does it mean? Vehicle compartment, they are to search all the whole vehicles that are crossing and kill the Christians when immediately the signal is passed. That is what this is their code I'm decoding for you. I'm taking it straight from what Jokeri said in 2016 for those who will say I'm talking nonsense. And this is of international matter. The whole world have to stand. The International Criminal Court, they have to stand. This is the code I'm decoding for you. Then, relatedly, on 5th November 2019, troops of 82 Division, while on a random stop and search operation, arrested a notorious gun roller, Leonard Asowa, in a commercial bus traveling from Onitsha to Jos. Have you seen it? These are all those Jos Road, this Onitsha to Jos Road. Order to stop all these luxurious buses and all of them. They are going to stop the road. Someone, the president told you that they are posting the military on the highway. Those are Boko Haram. Don't spare the Yorubas when they come. They are involved in it. These are targeted days. They are going, when they start, they know. Bam. All those roads, highways, bam, they will destroy all of them. It's someone when they were lamenting. Look at it. That's why you see checking points everywhere. Now I'm still quoting from Onitsha to Jos. I'm quoting him. A meticulous search of his baggage revealed 2 neatly concealed pump action guns with 25 live cartridges. Meaning, if he's been inside these luxurious boxes, Boko Haram, one way or the other, will infiltrate and become even among the passengers. On the road, they will kill the passengers. On the road, they will kill the passengers. There will be shootout. They block the road. Look at it. That's exactly what I'm interpreting for you. Additionally, troops of 1 Division garrison, while acting on credible information, cordoned a successful stop and search operation at the country home of one Alhaji Shehu Abubakar of Yakawada Town in Gwa local government area of Kaduna State on 5th November 2019. Later on, I'll get who this represents. It's a high-profile person. They have ordered the assassination. I'll have time to get a clue on who this is. Town in Kaduna State. During the operation, town in Giwa local government area of Kaduna State on 5th November 2019, items recovered along the operations, including 1 AK-47 rifle with 4 rounds of 7.62 special ammunition, 1 locally fabricated revolver with 3 rounds of 7.62 NATO and 1 pump action gun and 6 live cartridges. These areas, Christian areas in this Kaduna, they will burn them, they will attack them, and they will destroy their villages. Go and watch out what I'm telling you. Preliminary investigation revealed that the suspect is one of the suppliers of arms and ammunition to kidnappers and bandits terrorizing the residents of Kaduna and neighboring states. These are those bandits that are there. They have wandered there. This is another for them when they start to attack these Christian communities in Kaduna State and nothing more. Furthermore, troops of Operation Mesa in the North Central, in conjunction with elements of Special Forces, bikers. Have you seen it? Bikers, Special Forces, the ones that will be in motorcycles, conducted clearance operation at Dami, at Damwan, and Timcham villages in Kadeko District, Wase local government area of Plateau State. Get ready, you are going to be attacked. Middle of the night, they will come and invade you and shoot all of you down. Look at it. I'm translating the orders that have been passed against you, as well as Kuru villages in local government area of Taraba State. During the operation, 10 suspected militants were arrested, while troops also recovered 101 rounds of 7.62 MON special ammunition, 1 plastic explosive, and 36 permanent voters' cards (PVC) at the residence of one Shehu Jatu, a notorious militia gang leader who was earlier arrested in a hotel in central Abuja. Do you know whom they are talking about? Do you know whom they are talking about? Do you know whom they are talking about? They are talking about the assassination of Senator Engineer Abaribe. Look at it. Senator Engineer Abaribe. That is what they are talking about. This is the assassination order for Senator Engineer Abaribe. Look at it. Let me come. I'm interpreting it. Yes. Look at it. This is the operational order for the Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Look at it. Additionally, a notorious Tarok military gang leader, Jatu, and 5 of his accomplices were also tried and arrested in a hotel at central area Abuja. Preliminary investigation revealed that the suspects were active in the unfortunate Plateau crisis. This is Senator Engineer Abaribe. Do you remember when Abaribe was arrested? Look at it. Let me just tell you. Saraki described Senator's arrest as unfortunate. That is Post newspaper of July 4, 2018. Senator Baribe was arrested by the Department of State Security DSS in Abuja on Friday, June 22, 2018. The Senate President Bukola Saraki has described the arrest of Senator Engineer Abaribe as unfortunate. According to the lawmakers' lawyer, Chukuma Machuku Ume San, the DSS arrested his client for supporting the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOP. That is why they call him Tarot militant leader. Have you seen it? Ume also said the Senator Baribe was accused of gun running. Speaking further on the issue, Saraki said that the lawmaker arrest was part of the sacrifice for the nation's democracy. According to the Senate President, distinguished Senator Abaribe, we are happy to see that you are back. It was an unfortunate situation that we hope that things will definitely return back to normal in all these issues that concern you. It is one of these sacrifices, unfortunately, that we all have to make in deepening our democracy. Abaribe had earlier raised a point of order during plenary to narrate his order in detention. He said, I have been deluged by Nigerians, especially my colleagues, who have been very worried about the report that came up regarding my arrest by men of the DSS. I crave your indulgence, Mr. President, and that of my colleagues, that on Friday, 22 June, I was arrested at the gate of Hilton Hotel while the International Press Institute Congress was going on. I was taken to the office of the DSS by 11:30 in the morning, and subsequently by 5 p.m. I was taken to my house for a search of my residence. When we got to my house, that was the point at which I was formally informed of why I was arrested, because the search warrant that was used stated clearly that I am being accused with aiding and sponsoring a proscribed organization, IPOP, and so that the search of my house was to look for evidence of such. After the search, which took another 5 to 6 hours, I was taken to the office of the DSS about 12 midnight and now kept there. So that is it. This is the order for the elimination of Senator Engineer Abadibe. That is what I see in this report. And people think we are joking. Not only him, other senators. And people think when I come here to reveal what happened, they think it's a joke that I'm joking. They don't know who is standing before them. And look at it.
Hi there.
You see? You see? The report continues. I'll continue to decode it for you. I'll continue to decode it. You see? At the resident of, we have decoded Shehu. You know, this we are the plan for the elimination of Abaribe. Additionally, one locally fabricated rifle and the live cartridge were also recovered at Tinkam village. In the Niger Delta region, troops of 146 Battalion, men, they wrote it men, M-U-A-I-N, in conjunction with personnel of Nigerian Police Fidima Division, while acting on information, conducted a Swiss raid operation against some suspected gunmen at Okobi and Konkili Long John Abalamabi community in Bonu local government of Rivers State. So they are going to wreck all of you there. The raid led to the arrest of one suspected and recovery of 7 rounds of 9mm ammunition, a pair of camouflage uniform, 1 black beret, and wrap of substances suspected to be cannabis sativa and Indian hemp. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tuku Yusuf Buratai, wishes to reassure the general public of the resolve of the Nigerian Army. This is to confirm that the order must be obeyed because it's coming from the Chief of Army Staff. They are handing it direct from America to him and he's passing it on through that Elasu to the field operator that they have laundered. This is one evidence. I'm still decoding the order from John Kerry so that people will understand exactly what is happening. Now look at it. When that order was passed, now look at this one. I'm reading for you. Nation of November 23, 2019. It says Army arrest suspected drug peddlers with 60 wraps of cocaine. You see those drug peddlers they are mentioning there now. You are going to see who those drug peddlers are and what their mission is. It said the 9th Brigade Command of the Nigerian Army, Ikeja Cantonment in Lagos State, on Saturday paraded a hard drug peddler, Okafor Collins. I want you to know the name, Okafor Collins, and it's in signal, it's in quote. Caught with 60 wraps of substance suspected to be cocaine. The 30-year-old suspect was arrested at 311 Road, adjacent Cincinnati Clubhouse, Festac Town. The commander of the brigade, Brigadier General Musa Isu Ndagi, told newsmen on Saturday that the suspect was arrested in the early hours of Friday, which means it's on the early hours of Friday morning that they will attack Igbo residents in Festac Town. Watch out. Isu Ndagi said that the suspect was arrested by the men of the SI Crocodile Smile. Those are the people that will take charge of that place. Adding that the SI was already yielding results. The commander added that the suspect would be handed over to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agent for further investigation. I'm quoting him. You will recall that the Chief of Army Staff, which means is an order that must be obeyed. I told you they hand the army order to the Chief of Army Staff and he handed it to the field commanders. They have all been told to look out for this news. That is why they have to put the Chief of Army Staff always to show that it is an operational order. You saw in the beginning order from John Brennan that we interpreted. That is the sequences. That is how they follow it up. You see? I'm quoting him. You will recall that the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Buko Trakai, on November 9 flagged off a such crocodile smile. The SS is already yielding results. The suspect was arrested by the Operation Crocodile Smile troop as he confessed to committing the crime. The commander advised drug dealers to desist from trading in such substance, saying it was wreaking crimes in the society. Now, quote, I'm quoting him, I strongly advise drug dealers to desist from trading in substances of this nature because these substances are actually exacerbate crime in the society. When people take these substances, they become violent and will not know what they are doing anymore. All manners of crime, including those committed in schools, can be linked to those who take hard drugs. So I advise the public to desist from this, from the sake of the country at large, he said. He advised drug dealers to look for legitimate ways of making money, saying that the army was out to deal with all criminal elements in the society. I'm quoting him, we have carried out intelligence work and we know where all of them are. Who? Where all the Igbos are living. That is exactly what they are saying. They know where you are. That's exactly what they are saying. And we know where all of them are, and we shall go after them one after the other. So it is best for them to desist from, otherwise, when they are caught, they will be relentlessly dealt with. He said the suspect Okafor said that he regretted his action in dealing in hard drugs, saying that depression and unemployment made him go into illicit drugs. He said that he was getting his supply from a man he simply identified as Oku Dilichukwu from 311 Avenue in Festac Town. From 311 Avenue, I'm sure this place is not even existing. It's a coded signal. Oku Dilichukwu from 311 Avenue in Festac Town, from where the SSS Crocodile Smile team arrested him, which means they target this name, Okafor Collins and the Oku Dilichukwu, are signals of the people that they are going to target there. And they say that they know where all of them are, which means an inventory of all the Holy Ghosts living in Festac have already been taken, and they are going to liquidate all of them when the 10 starts. That's exactly what they are saying here. James Madison said it all when he declared that when tyranny and oppression come to the land, it will be in the guise of fighting crime. That is exactly what this US president said, and that is exactly what is happening today. Look at it. There is a reason, I'm putting another great man for you. There is a reason you separate military and the police. One fights the enemies of the state, the other serves and protects the people. When the military becomes both, then the enemy of the state tends to become the people. That is William Adama, a fictional character portrayed by Edward James Olmos in the reimagined Battlefield Star Galactica television series. That's what he said. To look at it, that's exactly what is happening in Nigeria today. The military taking over the job of the police. Then who is the enemy? The people. You are the enemy. That's what is happening. Look at the report I'm reading for you. Troops neutralized 13 Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists in Borno State. That is the Boko Haram they claim have been degraded. And all of a sudden, Boko Haram everywhere surrender, 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 surrender. Long that Boko Haram fighters that they are telling, signal all of them come back, be put into the army and use them to destroy the people. That is exactly what is happening. Look at it. Troops neutralized 13 Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists in Borno State.